Take 100. This is Average Reader's book review. It's a space where the average person who just wants to read books are free to without any judgment, because I know it's very easy to be intimidated by a lot of the book smart people. And so if you want to start reading or like reading but you're too unsure whether you're too dumb or not to read a book, this is the place. So firstly, I want to review Food of the Gods by H.G. Wells. If you don't know, H.G. Wells is the author of The Time Machine and War of the Worlds. I'm sure you've heard of that. It's been adapted to movie with Tom Cruise and I think most recently a show. And up until I got this book, I realized the show is more accurate in the setting, because apparently War of the Worlds was written and published in 1898. That's crazy. It's more than 100 years old. This book was published in 1904. The Time Machine, if you didn't know, was adapted by Disney, called The Time Kid. It's where a guy went to the future in his time machine and everything is deserted. I remember the movie a lot. I don't know why. And he found this civilization of people who don't speak English anymore, I think. And then there are also sand people who are the antagonists. But I have yet to read The Time Machine and War of the Worlds, so I will be getting those next, along with maybe other books of H.G. Wells. And yes, if you notice, my hair is wet. It's very common in my country to be dripping. I don't dry my hair at all. But yeah, back to the book. So I think this is a very underrated book. I got it in a Big Bad Wolf, in the Big Bad Wolf book sale. It was relatively cheap. I thought, oh, I really wanted to try one of his works. I'm really a big sci-fi fan, and it was between this and it was only between this and a bigger book of a lot of these collections, including War of the Worlds, that one was very pricey, so I started with this. So it's about Professor Redwood and Mr. Bensington were undistinguished looking men, leading lives of eminent and studious obscurity, scientists working away from the public gaze. Then they discovered Heracleophobia, a substance that could nourish a possible Hercules, and suddenly the two scientists were responsible for the most important development in the evolution of man. So they basically invented a food substance where anything can grow really, really big. And they started with a small farm. They started with, well, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm just gonna talk about how it was very unexpected for me. I was expecting a sci-fi book, of course, but later on, towards the end, I realized that it's a lot more than just the plot of it and the contents of it. It speaks about the current situation in their time in the 1900s. It was a time where science and scientists were just being taken more seriously. And as you can imagine, to the average person, that's gonna be like kind of a mix of disbelief and fear, but also maybe excitement, because they're opening a new dawn of knowledge and intelligence. The potential is endless, really. And towards the end, it made me really emotional. It's a hopeful, personally, I think it's a hopeful anticipation of society during that time, which is nice. As I was reading this, I realized, or I was thinking that this could make for a really good show, especially now that science fiction is becoming more common again with Three Body Problem and Dune, and that makes me really happy. So it made me think that with all the other films and shows right now that are pretty shit and unoriginal and are just basically sequels of old famous movies or films, I'm kind of saddened that there are a lot of really good books and ideas out there that they just don't give a chance to. And I think this could really be entertaining. It's an adventure. There are different types of people, and I don't want to make this too long, but yeah, overall it's a good read. I would rate it maybe 8 out of 10. That's pretty high. And the next thing that I'm gonna be reading, and the next book I'm gonna be reading is from Isaac Asimov, The Caves of Steel. So as you can see, I already started a chapter, and I'm gonna do a review of that next. Bobby, my dog. Thank you.